I don't fucking like you.
What?
I said I don't fucking like you.
You don't like me?
No.
Look. Look. Oh. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? And My Hero Academia has so many good characters, ranging from Boku, Shigaraki, the number 2 hero, Hawk, Deku. Well, Deku's okay. All Might. But today, as you read in the title, and the reason you're here in the first place, it's we're talking about my favorite character, the number 1 hero, Endeavor.
Say again?
I said Endeavor.
What'd you say?
I said Endeavor is my favorite character in My Hero Academia, and he's also probably one of the best characters written in it as well.
Nani?
So this is actually going to be a very difficult video to make because I know a lot of people don't like Endeavor because he's an abusive father, he beats his wife, he killed his son, which is all true, but guess what? He's not real. And a lot of people like Griffith, and that guy's 10 times more evil. That guy's a scumbag. A very pretty scumbag, to be honest. But I digress. I understand that Endeavor's character does involve some real life stuff, like the whole abusive child and domestic abuse with his wife. I definitely understand why people hate him, but I just love his character and the development that he goes through throughout the story. Endeavor in the beginning of the series is through and through a complete asshole and total scumbag. He abused his wife, he traumatized her, he traumatized his kids and abused them and chucked them away like toys once he realized that they weren't up to snuff and the potential hero that he wanted to create, like there's some type of Pokemon. Indirectly being the reason why Todoroki's face is burnt because his mom was so traumatized and saw Todoroki and threw boiling water, which is really fucked up. And according to Endeavor himself, he is responsible for the death of one of his kids, even though there's a lot of theories that Dobby is that son that he supposedly killed and that he will one day come back and reveal to his father.
And as you can see, I am not dead!
Whenever Endeavor is on the scene and he is prevalent in the arc, I know some good shit is gonna happen. Some hype stuff, and most importantly, some character development. And that makes my pussy wet. Now you're asking yourself, Fliz, what does bussy mean? Well, you're asking the wrong question. What you should be asking is why do I love Endeavor so much? And as I mentioned earlier, well, alluded to earlier, it's because of that sweet character development. In the beginning of the story, Endeavor is damn near depicted as a villain. Just all he was focused was on being number 1, surpassing All Might, but once he realized that he himself couldn't, he devised a plan to marry someone else with a strong quirk that meshes well with his so he could create kids and start breeding dittos. Not breeding dittos, but he was basically looking for a good, perfect IV ditto so he could breed so he can get himself a perfect child that will one day surpass All Might and become the new champion of Japan. After several failed attempts breeding these Pokemon, it wasn't really looking good for your boy Endeavor until his recent offspring, Shoto Todoroki. He was the perfect combination. He was exactly what Endeavor was looking for, exactly what he needed to surpass All Might. But there was a big issue standing in the way of Endeavor's dreams and desires, and that was Shoto doesn't like his dad, like, at all. And to make matters even worse, Shoto's inspiration and idol is Endeavor's rival, and that's All Might, which probably puts the salt in the wound. But that didn't stop Endeavor from getting what he wanted, and he forced Todoroki to do some training that Todoroki did not want to do. He's made him not antisocial. She locked him away, didn't want him to play with his family, made him not have any friends, and just focus on solely becoming the new #1 hero that will surpass All Might. This plus the fact that Endeavor severely traumatized Shoto's mother to the point where she threw boiling hot water in Shoto's face because Shoto reminded her of her awful, abusive husband. This all resulted in Shoto never using the fire side of his powers because it always reminded him of his father and all the wrongdoings that he did towards their family. Well, until recently when he fought Deku, he started using the fire side of his powers because he decided it's his power and he can forge his own path and not his father. Endeavor, on the other hand, didn't give a shit because he's like, you're using my power, I don't care the reason, you're using it, and this is gonna further my goals. Power, fame, and becoming the #1 hero and surpassing All Might was all that Endeavor desired, up until he finally got what he wanted. This is where Endeavor's character takes a mighty shift, and once he becomes the #1 hero and finally gets what he desired, he kind of realizes it's lonely at the top and understands what it really means to be, and he has the pressure put on him and that he has to be not only the face of the hero society, but he is now the new beacon of hope, and now finally understands what All Might had to go through and what it really means to be a hero. To become the beacon of hope and the #1 hero, as well as the hero that everyone looks up to, Endeavor finally understands that to become those things, he has to start at home. Through this, Endeavor learns to be a better hero, he has to become a better person. So with this new mindset that he has, he wants to reconcile with his family, but he learns that it's not as easy as he thinks it is. Endeavor's goal is now different in that he doesn't want to be the #1 hero and surpass All Might with all this rage and anger built inside. He becomes a lot more soft as the story progresses and instead wants to become a better person and the hero that he needs to be, that everyone wants him to be, because he's not doing it for himself. Endeavor is now an inspiration for hope and peace. But he cannot become this type of hero if his own family don't even see him that way. They see him as a villain, as a monster. And he wants to change that. But as he sees throughout the story, it's not that simple. And even though he's trying a lot, some of the family members, they don't really like the idea. And it's really hard for them to forgive Endeavor for all he's done to them as well as their mother. In the hands of another author, Endeavor's entire character arc at this point would be it wouldn't be as good. Endeavor would just be like, hey, I want to be a good family man and I love you guys. And they'd be like, oh my god, Dad, we love you too. Let's forget all the things you've done to us. Oh, kids, let's hug it out. And this is why I love Horikoshi's writing for Endeavor, and it's a lot more real because not a lot of people could just forgive him. This isn't Naruto where you can just talk no jutsu and be like, hey guys, I know you killed my father, but I love you, and you're like, ah man, you're cool. It's like, no, it's like things are a lot more real. They just can't forgive him for all the things he's done. He was a terrible person for decades, like actual decades. They just can't forget him and can't forgive him for any of that. Although some family members are trying to forgive him and want the family to be a better family, like a cohesive family, like Fiumi's trying her hardest. She's being the mediator between all the family members, trying to put them all together. Todoroki is sort of reluctantly kind of forgiving him, but not really. He's getting there slowly. While Natsuo, anyways, even though he kind of wants to forgive Endeavor and become a happy family, he just can't. Even after Endeavor saves him from a villain that was trying to kill Endeavor and everything that he loved. Well, he wanted to hurt Endeavor with the people that he loved so Endeavor could kill him. It was a weird villain, but cool story. And at this moment, you'd think his son would be like, oh my god, father, thank you for saving me. I really love you low key, but I forgive you. It's like, no, it doesn't happen like that. He flat out says, I can't forgive you for the things that you've done. And Endeavor finally comes to the realization, like, you're right. Endeavor finally accepts that some of his family just can't forgive him that easily, and he's not gonna fight for their forgiveness. He would love it, but he just can't force it. And to show how different Endeavor is, he has dreams every day of his family eating around the table, happy. But the thing is, he's never at the table, so he comes to the realization for his family to be happy and to be cohesive, he can no longer be a part of that family. So Endeavor buys them a house so once their mother recovers, she can go live with them, but he comes to the realization that he himself cannot be a part of that family, so he said he's gonna stay at the old house where all the traumatic experiences and all the bad stuff happened, so he can stay there and always be reminded of where he came from and always understand his consequences. And that's why I love Endeavor, because his character arc is not over. It's still gonna grow, he's gonna grow, and every time I see him I just get excited. I understand some people just don't like him and can't like him because the situation is just too real and they relate to it, so I understand, I get it, but for me personally, I love Endeavor. I think he's a great character within the story and he's well written, and some authors would have just had him be forgiven and they all would have been happy and blah blah blah. But I love how his character changes, but he's still the same, and I just love Endeavor. Anyways guys, that's the video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. There's obviously some stuff I skimmed over or didn't, or just completely missed, like Endeavor calling Todoroki like an ex-girlfriend, begging to call him back, but clearly doesn't want to talk to him because he has traumatic experiences. And other stuff like his interaction with Bakugo and Deku, and them joining his agency for the internship. All cool stuff, but I just don't want this video to be really long. My Hero Academia has a lot of good characters like Mirio, I love Mirio, Bakugo, Deku, Shigaraki, oh my god, I use a video for another day. But yeah, I just really want to talk about Endeavor and why he's such a great character. I understand some people don't really like him because his story is very like personal and it reflects real life and a lot of people can relate to it, and you know, I understand, I definitely understand. But also, if you're one of those people that are like, you like Endeavor so you like domestic abusers, it's like, no, I don't. If you like video game and video game content, follow me on my gaming channel Fly Flizzy, as well as follow me on Twitch. If I'm not here, that's where I'm usually streaming, playing games, taking showers, playing games, and just talking about a bunch of stuff. So yeah, don't forget to rate the video, subscribe, click on the bell icon, and stay notified. Have a good day, y'all. Toodles!